Spiritual home. Most of us find spirituality at some point in our lives. This spiritual home video will be helpful to those still searching. Finding spirituality. When you choose to make spiritual work a part of your life, there are several ways to approach it. A couple of good points. You can either do it alone or get help from someone already experiencing the same things you are. Both approaches have advantages and disadvantages. Understanding these can help you decide whether to pursue your spiritual work on your own or seek outside help. The most important advantage of working on your spiritual work alone is that you can do it alone. When you go to someone for advice or help, they become a guide and mentor. They are in a position to teach you about what is good and bad about your current life and help you make the necessary changes. The problem with this is that some people don't like mentors. They feel intimidated by them and may resist their advice. Others don't find the mentor they seek because their work requires contact with people from many different cultures, and they find it difficult to focus on a single culture. When you work on your spiritual work alone, you have the chance to be who you are and create precisely as you want to. This may mean that you meet like-minded people or may meet people with similar but distinct beliefs. If this is the case, your work will be unique and valuable. It will also be more meaningful, and your work can significantly impact others. On the other hand, if you choose to get outside help, you will likely have to work with people with similar beliefs. This is not a problem, because it is impossible to know another person's belief system. There isn't enough information to confidently guess someone else's religious or spiritual beliefs. For this reason, working with someone outside of yourself can help you understand better and grow in your spiritual work. This is, of course, your own decision to make. You will encounter people of various levels of involvement in your spiritual work. Sometimes you will find that you are deeply involved. Sometimes you may feel that you are only minimally affected. In between these two states, you will likely encounter people you consider highly integral and essential to you. These people may be necessary to you because they bring you insight and inspiration, or may be vital elements of your work relationship with God. No matter how involved a person is in their spiritual work, this does not mean they do not have their struggles or challenges. If you work with someone very involved in their spiritual work, this will be something that you will notice and perhaps even identify with. However, sometimes a person will need more input or a voice in their spiritual work. This can be difficult for a person to deal with, especially if they have reached a point in their lives where their spiritual work and their personal life are so closely intertwined. This can be especially true if the person has come to a place where they feel their spiritual life and career are inextricably linked. This does not necessarily mean that you should be bound or forced to be too involved with the spiritual work of another person. After all, there are many benefits to being a non-personally active person. If you cannot detach from the other person in your spiritual work, consider taking a break and focusing on God for a while. You may find that God will lead you back to being very involved. At the very least, this will allow you to deepen your spiritual work without worrying about what is happening with the person you are involved with. When you are ready, you can choose to become more involved in the other person's life. It is also possible that you will move beyond your current relationship with the other person and find yourself in a place where your spiritual work and personal life are closely linked. On a personal note, I have found many in my life to be very spiritual, and even though I am a member of the craft, it doesn't prevent me from embracing other beliefs and religions. I wish you well.